चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse 15. स वै भागवतो राजा पाण्डवेयो महारथा बालक्रीडनकैक्रीडं कृष्णक्रीडं य आधदे स वै भागवतो राजा पाण्डवेयो महारथा बालक्रीडनैकै क्रीडं कृष्णक्रीडं य आददे स वै भागवतो राजा पाण्डवेयो महारथा बालक्रीडनकैक्रीडं कृष्णक्रीडं य आददे. Translation purport by Stephen Grace Savai Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Synonyms: Sir, he. Why? Certainly. Bhagavatha, a great devotee of the Lord. Raja, Maharaja Parikshit. Pandaveya, grandson of the Pandavas. Maharatha, a great fighter. Bala, while a child. Kridanai, Kaihi, with play dolls. Kridan, playing. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Kridam, activities. Yahu, are the they accepted. Translation: Maharaja Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. Purport: in the Bhagavad Gita 6.41, it is stated that even a person who has failed in the proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of a devout Brahmanas or in the house of rich men like Kshatriya kings or rich merchants. But Maharaja Parikshit was more than that because he had been a great devotee of the Lord since his previous birth. And as such, he took his birth in an imperial family of the Kurus, and especially that of the Pandavas. So, from the very beginning of his childhood, he had the chance to know intimately the devotional service of Lord Krishna in his own family. The Pandavas, all being devotees of the Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Children who appeared in such families fortunately generally imitate such worship of the deities, even in the way of childhood play. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, we had the chance of being born in a Vaishnava family, and in our childhood, we imitated the worship of Lord Krishna by imitating our father. Our father encouraged us in all respects to observe all functions such as the Rath Yatra and Dhola Yatra ceremonies, and he used to spend money liberally for distributing prasada to us children and our friends. Our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, got all inspiration from his great Vaishnava father. श्रीमते जयपताग स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे जय श्रीनमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नाम कृष्णयादवाय नाम गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदनाम मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुलं गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं देवतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. So, Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharatha Bala Kridan Haikai Bhidam Krishna Kridam Yadate Krishna Kridam Bala Kridan Akaihi Kridan Krishna Kridam Yadate.
सवै भागवतो राजा पांडवयो महारथा बाल क्रीडन कह कर क्रीडन कृष्ण क्रीडाम या आददे.
So, this facility of taking birth in a Vaishnava family, children, simply by playing with Krishna, they become Krishna conscious. Some way or the other, if somebody comes in contact with Krishna, then his life becomes successful. So this is called Bhakti Yoga. You can call it Krishna Yoga. It can be practiced even by a child without interfering with his natural propensities. A child naturally wants to play. So he can play with Krishna deity. We had the opportunity, Prabhupada says, that of doing that. Prabhupada's parents are very favorable. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's father is also very favorable. So Prabhupada tells in the purport also the same thing. Okay. So Prabhupada wanted to imitate his father because his father was worshipping Krishna deity. So Prabhupada's father gave him a small Krishna deity. And even when Prabhupada grown up, Prabhupada and his sister were worshipping it when they were small, and even after grown up, Prabhupada, that small deity was worshipped. So, whatever they were eating, they used to offer it to the deity, just like exactly the same Archana. Whatever father. So, the father used to encourage Srila Prabhupada, and also there was a Rath Yatra. So, that was the beginning of, life of Srila Prabhupada. He was first initiated by his own parents only. So anyone can initiate his child to this Krishna consciousness understanding from the very beginning without any education, without any knowledge. There is no need of high grade knowledge or education in order to understand Krishna consciousness. It's already there in everyone's heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha, it is eternally a fact. Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha. Nitya means eternal. Siddha means, it is not to be realized. It's already there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunaya. It is not that one has to learn it artificially by some gymnastic. No. It's natural. Just like the children, they naturally they will play. And if the parents are Krishna consciousness, the children will, dance with the parents. They offer the flowers, trying to imitate how to chant. It all natural. They are very much pleased. Huh? So it doesn't matter whether one understands or not understand. It is just like touchstone or infection. Either way, you can understand it. Huh? Whether you know it or you don't know, it will act. Because Krishna Bhakti is love of Krishna, love for Krishna is there in everybody's heart. And if it is not so, how when Srila Prabhupada went to US, all the young boys and girls, they took it very seriously. Huh? Within 2, 3 years of Srila Prabhupada goes to US, or even less than that. Huh? All Prabhupada students were joining, they became first class Krishna Bhakta devotees. So at that time, even Indians were very surprised that how the European and Americans are coming to such nice Krishna consciousness. Even Africans. So this is the proof that love for Krishna is there in everybody's heart, everyone's heart. That is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nitya Siddha, Krishna Bhakti, Nitya Siddha, eternally it is a fact. Simply it has to be awakened. So just like the attraction for the opposite sex, a girl or a boy, that is natural. It is not unnatural. Nobody goes to school and college how to learn how to be attracted by young men. It doesn't require any education. The natural instinct is already there. When the boy and girl are grown up, naturally the attraction is there, spontaneous. So that is why our point is that we have to awaken by hearing, and that hearing must be from a person who is realized. Then it will act. Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha Sadhya Kagunai Sravanadi Suddha Chitte. By hearing, the more your heart will be cleansed of all material infection, you will understand what is Krishna. In dirty heart, you cannot. Therefore, to cleanse the heart, it is required that you regularly hear Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, chanting Hare Krishna, hear about Krishna, Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that we must hear about Krishna 24 hours. Not that a particular time I hear and then I stop. Don't stop. Mold your life in such a way that, just like Parikshit Maharaj, from the very beginning of life taught Krishna Kriya. So now with the development of Bhakti Vriksha everywhere all over the world, people, the devotees, they have got their family deities, family temple deities, and they worship Gaur Nitai every day as a regular basis, part of their life. And children's nature is generally to imitate the parents because they have to learn. So nature has given them the propensity to imitate. So the first imitation begins from the parents. If the parents is nice Krishna devotees, naturally the children become devotee. That's the opportunity of taking birth in a Vaishnava family. So if the Vaishnava family children are not becoming Vaishnava, in one sense, it's a fault of the parents. So, the difference between Sadhana Siddha and Nidya Siddha, Gaurangera Sangigana Nitya Siddha Boli Mane, Seyoi Brajendra Nandana Pas, Gauda Mandala Bhumi, Eva Jano Chintamani, Thara Hoi Brajabhumi Bas. So Nitya Siddha means he has no chance to forget Krishna. That is called Nitya Siddha. Sadhana Siddha means by following the regulative principles, the rules and regulations, one revives his Krishna consciousness. Both things are Siddha only because you cannot revive Krishna consciousness without being Krishna conscious. So it may be covered. So Nitya Siddha means he does not get covered by the influence of material nature about this natural devotion tendency to serve Krishna. He never becomes covered. This is the difference. Krishna, he gives him a chance to get birth in such a family. And just like Parishit Maharaj, that he never gets the chance for forgetting Krishna. So one who doesn't get the chance of forgetting Krishna is not a Nidya Siddha. This is the difference. So, and Sadhana Siddha means what? Sadhana Siddha means one has forgotten Krishna. That's typically the position of all the materialistic people like us. Every one of us forgotten. But even though forgotten, the thing is there. It has to be awakened only. And the awakening process is hearing. Hmm? So anyone who has forgotten Krishna somehow or the other, the cause may be so many, but if he is given a chance to hear about Krishna, Srunuvatam Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayantasto hiya Bhadrani, Vidunoti Suhrutsatam. As soon as somehow or the other one begins to hear about Krishna, either by his natural inclination or by chance, or anyway, he comes to hear about Krishna, attempts hearing about Krishna, then Krishna is within everyone's heart, Paramatma. So Krishna helps him immediately. Krishna helps both ways. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will help you so that you will be able to forget Krishna. Similarly, if you want to revive your lost relationship with Krishna again, Krishna will help you. So these things are listed in Bhagavad Gita. Tesham nityabhyuktanam, tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvaka. One who is engaged 24 hours in rendering service to the Lord with faith and devotion. Bhajatam. This word is used, bhaja, seva, service. Bhaja, sevaya. Huh? So, bhajatam, one who is engaged always, tesham nitya, satata yuktanam, 24 hours. He is engaged in that stage. Krishna is very pleased upon you. No, now he has taken to my service. He is engaged 24 hours. All right. Let him give some instruction. So Krishna is within you. Srinavatam Swagata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana. One profit is by hearing about Krishna. He becomes gradually sinless simply by hearing. Unless we are sinful, we don't go to the material world. So we have to become sinless before going back to home, back to garden. Because kingdom of God is pure. The kingdom is pure. No impure living entity can enter that. So one has to become pure. That's also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Yesham antagatam papam. One who has completely been freed from all sinful reaction of this life. Yesham antagatam papam. Jananam punya karmanam. And always engaged in pious activities, no more sinful activities. The consciousness moment is that once he is given chance to erase all the sinful activities and keeping himself intact, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. If we follow this regulation, then after initiation, all my sins are washed off. And if I keep myself in that washed off position, then where is the question of becoming sinful again? So you take your bath again and again, take the dust and throw on your body, that means it will not help. If you say, I will take again, wash again, throw the dust, what is the use of washing then? Just like the elephant, after bathing in the pure water very nicely, come out and put the mud on its own body. Hmm? So that will be possible. That can be avoided. You can stop that nonsense only when you keep yourself constantly in touch with Krishna by hearing about him. That's all. You have to remain uncontaminated, and that's Punya Shravana Kirtana. If you hear about Krishna, then Punya. You will be always in pious position, Punya Sravana Kirtana. Either you chant, therefore, the recommended process, Abhideya process in this Kali Yuga is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we should be careful about our slipping down again into the sinful activities, and everyone should be careful and keep oneself in the chanting process. Then he is all right. So that is the very important thing. Srinotam Sukata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana. Gradually, as you go on hearing about Krishna, the all dirty things within the heart will be cleansed. And what is the dirty things in the heart? The dirty things in the heart is, I am a material body, I am American, I am Indian, I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am boy, I am girl, I am this, I am that. These are all the different types of covering of the soul, which are the dirty in the body, in the heart. So the uncovered soul is fully conscious that I am eternal servant of God. That's all. One has no other identification. That is called mukti. When one comes to that understanding that I am eternal servant of Krishna or God, and my only business is to serve Him, that is called mukti. Mukti does not mean that you will have another two hands, another two legs. No. It's the same thing. Simply it is cleansed. Just like a man is suffering from fever, the symptoms are so many. But as soon as the fever is not there, then all the symptoms are gone. So this fever in the material world is sense gratification. Sense gratification. This is the fever. So when we become engaged in Krishna consciousness, this sense gratification fever is finished. This will cease. That's the difference. That's a test how you are becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness. Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra syat. That is the test. Because we are in the disease of bhavaroga. Bhavaroga means again and again taking birth. That is called bhavaroga. But if you take the medicine, Bhava Aushadhi, everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhava Roga, the disease of repeated birth and death in the material world. And the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Bhava Aushadhi, the medicine to cure this Bhava Roga. Bhava Aushadha Chrotra Mano Abhiramat Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvadat Virajyeta Puman Vina Pashuganat Nivrittatasrair Upagiyamana. There are very nice verses in Bhagavatam. Nivrittatasrair Upagiyamana. This chanting of the holy name of Krishna is possible by a person who is disgusted with all these material activities. They can actually chant. That means Mukta Purusha, liberated soul. The chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is the business of liberated soul, not for the conditioned soul. But even in our conditioned life, we chant, we become purified and liberated. That is the beauty, power of the chanting of Hare Krishna. Therefore, it is recommended that everyone should chant. Never mind. Namo what we call Apavitra Pavitrovam Esmaret Pundarikaksham Vyandra Suchihi. Anyone who remembers. So, Nivritta Tarser Upagiyamanat Bhava Aushadi. It is a medicine for our Bhavaroga, repeated birth and death. Such a nice thing, you see. So, not only it is medicine is always bitter, but it is not bitter. Mano Abhiramat. It is very pleasing to the mind, to the senses. Otherwise, how we become ecstatic in chanting unless it is pleasing? It is medicine, of course, but pleasing medicine. Other medicines, they are very bitter. But if you practice yoga, you have to take so much labor. You don't know whether you will be success or not. Hatha yoga. And if you take to jnana, that also require much education, much understanding of philosophy. So they actually, although they are medicines, but they are bitter medicine, not very palatable. Neither everyone can take it. A child cannot become a jnani. A child cannot become a yogi, but a child can become a bhakta. Therefore, this is the easiest process, pleasing process. Everyone is pleased to execute this Krishna consciousness. Nivritta Tarsair Upagiyamanat Bhava Aushadi Chrotra Mano Abhiramat. Mano Abhiramat. You see, even for ordinary men who wants to hear about conjugal love, they read, therefore, so many novel, fiction, dramas, the love affairs between one young man, one young girl. But that is also there. Krishna, Radha Krishna. In that sense, also it is pleasing only. Even to the ordinary man, it is pleasing. So, Mano Abhirama. It is very pleasing. Nivritta Tarsaihi. For philosophers, it is also pleasing. We are talking all of philosophy in Bhagavata. Nivritta Tarsair, Upagiyamanat, Bhava Aushadi. Ka Uttama Sloka Gunanuvadat. Uttama Sloka is Krishna, who is worshipped by offering nice selected slokas, authorized, just like we offer prayers. Chinta Mani Prakara Satma Shukalpa Vriksha. Each line is full of poetry, poetic and literary character, grammar. Anything you take, they are all full. All Bhagavata, Srimad Bhagavatam. You cannot produce such literature in these days. Such meaningful. Because Vyasadeva was incarnation, he could produce. Therefore, it is Uttama Sloka. By the best selected verses, Krishna is described. So, who can be away from such activities to hear about Uttama Sloka through nice verses, philosophy? Who can be bereft of this? Vina Pasugnat, only the animal hunter or the animal killer. The animal killer cannot understand. Therefore, it is prohibited. No meat eating, no flesh eating. This is the greatest disqualification for understanding. One cannot understand. The animal killer cannot understand. Therefore, it has to be stopped. Vina Pashugnat. Pashugnat means, Gna means killer. Pashu means animal. And another meaning is Pashu means oneself and living entity means Gna. So either one is killing himself or killing animals. Such persons cannot understand about the glories of the Lord. It's not possible. Parikshit Maharaj said that Ka Uttama Sloka Gunanuvadat Vrajyeta Vina Pashugnat. Only the animal killer cannot understand this. Just see. So, Parikshit Maharaj asked these are qualifications. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharatha. Very, very wonderful. This sloka. Bhala Kridan Akhai Kridan Krishna Kridam Adade. So, Parikshit Maharaj, Savai Bhagavato Raja, not ordinary Raja. Raja means king. Bhagavata Raja. So, Bhagavata means he's a great devotee. First class devotee, Bhagavata. Pandaveya, how he became Bhagavata? Because son and grandson, all in the dynasty of the Pandavas. Parikshit Maharaj was the grandson of Arjuna. So Arjuna was Krishna's friend. He was Bhagavata. Unfortunately, Arjuna's son died in the battle of Kurukshetra. He was also Bhagavata. He was Subhadra's son. Krishna's sister, Subhadra, who is sitting here with the Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra, maybe say. Subhadra's son was Abhimanyu, but he died in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, 16-year-old. But fortunately, his wife Uttara, she was pregnant. So, Parikshit Maharaja was within the womb of Uttara. So, he was saved. All others died. So, Pandaveya, coming in the dynasty of the Pandavas. Therefore, Bhagavata. So, this Raja is Bhagavata Raja, Maharatha. At the same time, he could fight thousands of warriors also. So, is Maharatha also. A very beautiful sloka, you see. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharatha. A Kshatriya who alone can fight with another 1,000 Kshatriyas, he is called Maharatha. So it doesn't mean to become Bhagavata, to become devotee, one has to stop all other activities. No. Here it is called Maharatha also. Maharatha means great commander. So a great commander can also become Bhagavata. A great merchant can become also Bhagavata. A great Brahmana, learned scholar can also become Bhagavata. There is no restriction. Not that simply one who is Vedantist, who is very learned scholar, he can become Bhagavata. No. The social system was so nice. Everyone could become Bhagavata. The Brahmana could become Bhagavata. The Brahmana could become Bhagavata, Kshatriya could become Bhagavata, Vaishya could become Bhagavata, Shudra could also become Bhagavata. Sriya Shudras Tatha Vaishya, Krishna says, personally, never mind whether he is a Shudra, women, or Vaishya, Te Apiyanti Param Gatim, all of them can go back home, back to Godhead. How? Mam hi partha vyapasritya e apisyupa payonyan. So simply he has to take shelter of me seriously, Krishna says. That's all. Never mind what is he. Te apiyanti param gatim. That is important. Parikshit Maharaj, in his childhood, he was Bala Kridhanaiki Kridhan. He was playing with Radha Krishna. This is the advantage of getting birth in a Vaishnava family. Just like, uh, our devotees children, they play with Jagannath, they play with Radha Krishna, so many, very wonderful, this thing. And Srila Prabhupada was citing it many times in his lectures that he got the opportunity of a good father and mother and he was trained up. So similarly, you also can train up your children, then your becoming father and mother is perfect. Otherwise, the dogs and cats are also father and mother beget children. They are more expert, in fact. A hog can beget children twice in a year, and each time more than one dozen. You cannot compete with that. It's not possible. Sometimes you beget two children twice, but that's not competition. The competition is that you make your children God conscious. Give them, they are playing with Krishna. So, this is very, very important. So, Prahlad Maharaja's instruction is there. Kaumaramacharet prajno dharman bhagavataniha. From the very beginning, there is no teaching. There is no God consciousness. Then what will be the result? You may send in a very decorated university, but the result will be hippies. That's all. You cannot expect anything more. So teach them from the very beginning how to become Krishna conscious. Then you will find nice population, beautiful population, peaceful atmosphere, social condition, very nice, systematic. Everyone is happy. And within happiness, they are all chanting Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Every house there is, dingling of bells, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Arti is going on, make it a Vaikunta. That's what Srila Prabhupada wanted. Teach from the very beginning of life. Bala Krida. This sloka you see. Bala Kridanakai Kridan Krishna Kridan Ya Adade. So Bala Krida, Bala Kridanakai Kriya, by playing he is becoming Krishna conscious. So this is a very beautiful words about Maharaja Parikshit, and even almost all the Acharyas' history, if you see, they all have a symmetry in their history, in our parampara, that they all belong to the Vaishnava community, Vaishnava family, and they got opportunity from their very childhood. They were been playing pastimes of Lord Krishna. And worshipping Krishna as imitation, as their parents were worshipping Krishna in actual. So these are all the things, and we have to provide our children also similar opportunities, provide the environment in which they can do the awakening of Krishna consciousness. So that is wanted. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse 16. Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan
वैयासकिश्च भगवान्
Vasudeva Parayana
वासुदेव परायण
Urghaya Gunodara
उरुगाय
उरुगाय
गुणोदार
गुणोदार
Satam Syurhi Samagame
सतां
सतां शोषी समागम
समागमे
Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan
वैयासकिश्च
वैयासकी
भगवान्
भगवान
Vasudeva Parayana
Vasudeva
Vasudeva
Parayana
Parayana
Urugaya Gunodhara
Urugaya
Urugayo
Gunodhara
Gunadara
Satam Syurhi Samagame
Satam
Satam
Shurahi
Shuri
Samagame
Samagame
Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan
Vyasakischa
Vaiyasaki
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Vasudeva Parayana.
Vasudeva Parayana
Vasudeva Parayana.
Which verse it is? 16, okay. Urugaya Gunodhara
Urugaya Gunodara
Satam Syurhi Samagame
Tatam Shuri Samagame
Samagame
Vaiyasaki Bhagavan
Vaiyashakischa Bhagavan
Vasudeva
Vyasakischa
Parayana
Bhagavan
Vasudeva Parayana
Vasudeva
Vasudeva
Parayana
Parayana
Urugaya Gunodara
Urugaya Gunodhara
Satam Shuri Samagama
Shatam Shurahi Samagame Vyasakischa Bhagavan
Vaiyasaki Bhagavan
Vasudeva Parayana
Vasudeva Parayana
Urugaya Gunodhara Satam
Urugaya Gunodara Satam
Satam Shurahi Samagame
Satam Shuri Samagame.
Synonyms: Vaiyasaki, the son of Vyasadeva.
Vyasaki, the son of Vyasaki,
Vaiyasaki, the son of Vasudeva.
Cha, also.
Cha also.
Che also.
Bhagavan, full in transcendental knowledge.
Full in transcendental knowledge.
Bhagavan, full in transcendental knowledge.
Vasudeva, Lord Krishna.
Vasudeva, Lord Krishna.
Vasudeva, Lord Krishna.
Parayana, attached to.
Parayana, attached to.
Parayana, attached to.
Gurugaya, of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who is glorified by great philosophers.
Urugaya, of
Gurugaya
the
Gata.
personality of
Urgaya,
God,
of
Sri
the personality
Krishna,
of Godhead,
who is
Sri Krishna,
glorified by
who is
great
glorified by
philosophers.
great philosophers.
Guna Udarha, great qualities.
Guna Udara, great
Guna
quality.
Udara, the great qualities.
Satham, of the devotees.
Satam, of the devotee.
Satam, of the devotees.
You must have been.
You
So
must
must
have
have
been.
been.
He, as a matter of fact.
As a matter, as a matter of fact,
Samagame, by the presence of.
Samagame, by the
By the
presence
presence
of.
of.
Translation, please repeat after me. Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva,
Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva,
Deva,
was also fully in transcendental knowledge
was also full in transcendental knowledge
transcendental knowledge,
and was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva.
and
and
was a
was
great
a
devotee
great
of Lord
devotee of
Krishna, son
Lord
of Vasudeva.
Krishna, son of Vasudeva.
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 So there must have been discussion of Lord Krishna
So there
So
must
there must
have
have
been
been discussions
discussion
of
of
Lord
Lord
Krishna,
Krishna,
who is glorified by great philosophers and in the company of great devotees.
who is glorified
who is
by
glorified
great
by great
philosophers
philosophers
and
and in
in
the
the
company of
company
great
of
devotees.
great devotees.
Perfect. The word satam is very important in this verse. Satam means the pure devotees. who have no other desire than to serve the Lord. Only in the association of such devotees are the transcendental glories of Lord Krishna properly discussed. It is said by the Lord that his topics are all full of spiritual significance, and once one properly hears about him in the association of Satam, certainly one sense of the great potency and so automatically attain to the devotional stage of his life. As already described, Maharaja Parikshit was a great devotee of the Lord from his very birth, and so was Sukadeva Goswami. Both of them were on the same level. Although it appeared that Maharaja Parikshit was a great king accustomed to royal families, royal facilities, whereas Sukadeva Goswami was a typical renouncer of the so world, world so much so that he did not even put a cloth on his body. Superficially, Maharaja Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami might seem to be opposites, but basically they were both unallied, pure devotee of the Lord. When such devotees are assembled together, there can be no topic save discussion of the glories of the Lord or Bhakti Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita also, when there were talks between the Lord and his devotee Arjuna, there could not be any topic other than Bhakti Yoga. However, the mundane scholars may speculate on it in their own ways. Topics other than glories of the Lord Krishna properly, uh, other than where talks between the Lord and his devotees Arjuna, there could not be any topic other than Bhakti Yoga. However, the mundane scholars may speculate on it in their own ways. The use of the word go cha offer Vayasaki suggests, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, that both Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit were of the same category, sitting along before, although one was playing the part of the master and the other the disciples. Since Lord Krishna is the center of the topics, the word Vasudeva Parayana or devotee of Vasudeva suggests the devotees of the Lord Krishna, the common aim. Although there were many others who assembled at the place where Maharaja Parishit was fasting, the natural conclusions is that there was no topic other than the glorification of the Lord Krishna, because the principal speaker was Sukadeva Goswami and the chief audience was Maharaja Parishit. So Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was spoken and heard by two principal devotees of the Lord, is only for the glorification of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Urugaya Gunodhara Satham Surhi Samagame. Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido Bhavanti Kritkar Narasayana Katha. So, this is very important that Satam means the devotee, association of the pure devotee. Discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always very pleasing, satisfying to the ear and the heart. So, when we cultivate such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced in the path of liberation. Tat Joshanat. So, you have to hear from the right souls. Right souls means one must be realized soul. Now, here it is Vyasadeva, who is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Sukadeva Goswami is his son. Okay. So, when they glorify, in the association of the devotees. It's very pure. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse 17. Ayurharati vaipumsam udyannastam chayannasau
Udyan Ashtam Chayayan Ato
tasyarte yakshano nita
Dasyate Yat Shano Nita
uttama shlokavartaya
Uttama Sloga Vartaya
ayurharati vaipumsam
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
udyan astam chayannasau
Udyam Ashtam Chayan Aso
tasyarte yakshano nita
Dasyate Yat Shano Nita
uttama shlokavartaye.
Uttama Sloga Vartaye
Please recite.
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
Ayurharati vaipumsam
Dayanastam Chayanasu
udyannastam chayannasau
Dasyate Yat Shano Nita
tasyarte yakshano nita
Uttama Sloga Vartaya
uttama shlokavartaya. Synonyms. Ayu, duration of life.
Ayo, duration of life.
Harati, decreases.
Harati, decreases.
Why? Certainly.
Why, certainly,
Pumsam of the people.
some of the people,
Udyan, rising.
Udyam, rising,
Astam, setting.
Astam, setting,
Cha, also.
here also,
Yan, moving.
Yan moving,
Asau, the sun.
so the sun,
Tasya, of one who glorifies the Lord.
here the one who glorifies the Lord,
Rite, except.
they accept,
Yet, by whom?
yet by whom,
Shana, time.
Shana, time,
Nita, utilized.
Nita, utilized,
Uttama Sloka, the all good personality of Godhead.
Uttama Sloga, the all good personality of Godhead,
Vartaya, in the topics of.
Vartaya in the topics of,
Translation, please repeat after me. Both by rising and by setting.
setting.
The sun decreases the duration of life of everyone.
The sun decreases the duration of life of everyone.
Except one who utilizes the time.
Except one who
utilizes
utilizes the
the time
time
By discussing topics of the all good personality of Godhead.
by discussing topics of the all good personality of
all
God.
personality of God.
Purport.
Purport. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of replacing the human form of the life to realize our last relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man, so the time indicated by the sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize is happiness. The human being is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity, but is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord is the complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, courage, and personality are all identical with him. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.40, the Lord has explained such a contact in the following words: endeavors in devotional service are never baffled.
Hmm?
The Lord has explained such a contact of the following words: endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is their failure. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from a great ocean of material fears. As a highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once in the whole body. The transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the air by the pure devotee of the Lord cannot act very efficiently. Oral, oral realization of the transcendental message implies total realization just as fructification of the of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotee like Sukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity, and thus the sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life, in as much as she is constantly busy in the devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence. Death is a symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to material infection is the external living entity subjected to the law of birth, death, old age, and disease. Scroll up. Huh? The materialistic way of pure activities like charity is recommended in the smart sastras as quoted by Srila Vyasadeva Chakravarti Thakura, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura. Money given in charity to suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given to charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahmical qualification, the money is returned to in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned out. If the money is given in the charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has faculty, realized the path of the Vedas, is returned to unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedasya Charver Ahamyava Vedye. There is a guarantee of money being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment pass in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord, a perfect guarantee eternal life for returning home back to Godhead. Scroll up. scroll up. Madhya Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times, and if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has faculty realized the path of the Vedas, it is returned by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of the Vedic knowledge is realizing the personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyasa Saira Ahamya Vedye, there is a guarantee of money is being returned to given in charity regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is the perfect guarantee of the eternal life, returning home back to Godhead. Madhyama Gava Punarjanmana Vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such a guaranteed eternal life. Hare Krishna. No voice. No voice.
So, Ayur Harati Vaipumsam. This sunset and sunrise take away the life of only non-devotees. Not for the devotees, because devotees are praising Uttama Sloka. The cleansing process is very nicely done simply by hearing the message of Uttama Sloka or Krishna. You haven't got to scratch it with some machine. Our body, this is dirt. This is called dirty things. Why it is called dirty things? Because we are not this body, we are spirit soul. We don't have death. This is due to our infection with the material thing, that we have got this body which is a dirt. Why it is dirt? It is dirt because after the soul, the soul, leave this body, it will be decomposed, and after a few days it will be earth, dust. So it is called dirt. And we have to cleanse this dirt from a real identity, spiritual life. And the process is very nice. Simply by hearing the message of Krishna. You don't need to scratch it with some machine to cleanse. It will be automatically cleansed if you simply give oral reception to the message of Uttama Sloka, which is Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha means words of Krishna. Katha means words. Krishna, you know. So Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna personally giving you words of instruction. So if we simply read Bhagavad Gita, then the sun cannot take away my duration of life. What is the proof? The proof is the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Janma karma cha me divyam yo yanati tattvataha. Anyone who understands about my birth and appearance, Lord does not take birth. Aja. Aja means whoever takes birth, ever existing, who never takes birth. That is called Aja. Ajo pisan abhyayatma bhutanam iswaro pisan sambhavami yuge yuge. So Aja, one who does not take birth. But still we see that Krishna is taking birth. We are observing Janmashtami, the birth anniversary of Lord Krishna. So therefore, what is the mystery? He doesn't take birth. Still, we are observing the birth anniversary of Krishna, Janmashtami. So this is to be understood. Tattvataha, in truth, yojanati tattvataha. Krishna says, Veda says that natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. The Supreme Lord has nothing to do. Why he shall do? And again, we see that Krishna, since the day of his appearance at his maternal uncle's prison till to his going back to his own home, he was always active. Active means specifically in killing the demons. But such demons could be killed without the presence of the Supreme Personality of God. If there's little earthquake, millions of demons can be killed. It is not a very difficult job. If the Pacific Ocean overfloods this city, millions of people can be killed. If there is war, millions of people can be killed. If there is epidemic, millions of men can be killed. So killing the demons, for that purpose, he doesn't come. Krishna, rather many agents, they can kill such demons without any difficulty. But he comes, why? Paritranaya sadhunam. Just like Lord Narsimha appeared not to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. He could be killed otherwise also, but he appeared for Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj. He was being so much teased and so much tortured. He could not tolerate it. So he wanted to show his devotee that I shall kill your torturer, before you. That is the purpose. So he did not appear for killing Hiranyakashipu. He appeared to give encouragement to Prahlad Maharaj. As he says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. He asked Arjuna to declare, my dear Arjuna, you declare that my devotee will never be vanquished. So therefore he comes. So these are the understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in toto. So if we discuss about Krishna Katha, the words of Krishna, there are two books, words of Krishna. One is Bhagavad Gita. Every Vedic literature is Krishna Katha. But these two books, especially Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is directly speaking, and Srimad Bhagavatam, directly speaking about Krishna. Both of them are Krishna Katha. So therefore, here it is said that Uttama Sloka Vartaye. Varta means message, words. So if we pass our time simply by reading and talking about Krishna, then the sun will not be able to take away our life. This is the secret. If you want to become immortal, then you always be engaged in Krishna Katha. Always, 24 hours. Always think of Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. So everyone is dying. But those who are engaged in Krishna Katha, in Krishna consciousness, those who are busy in Krishna's business, they are not dying. They are living. How? Because ordinary man, his duration of life, span of life is being taken away by the sun rising and sunset every day. If a man is 50 years old, that means he has to live for 80 years. So 50 years duration has already been taken away by the sun. 50 years old means that 50 years of time has already been taken away by the sun. It will never come back. But what about the devotees? he is also the same. His also life is being taken away? No. His life is not being taken away because he is going to live. Superficially, we see that the body of a devotee is also taken away. But this is not the real body. Real body is spiritual body. So the spiritual body, just like Krishna says, Tyaktva deham punarjanmana itima hameti. So Kaunteya, after giving up this body, he does not take birth again. He comes to me. Now the body is given up. Then how he goes? He says, he comes to me. So who comes to him? Materialistic person, the so-called scientist and philosopher, they know this body, the self. They don't know that the body is the cover of the self. This real self, the real person, goes to Krishna, to life forever. So those who are devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness, they are giving up this infected body and they are getting their new, not new, the old, original body, spiritual body. Therefore, as soon as you get the spiritual body, the sun has no power to take it away. That's explained in Bhagavad Gita, that the fire cannot burn it, the weapon cannot kill it, the water cannot moisture it. In so many way, indirect way are described. The spirit cannot destroyed by anything material. Just like this body is mattered, this body can be cut into pieces, but the spirit soul cannot be. The body can be burned into ashes, but the spirit soul cannot be. Pavaka, dehati pavaka. So the modern scientists, they say that there is no life in the sun planet, sun globe. But that's not a fact. What is sun globe? It's a fiery planet, that's all. But the spirit soul can live in the fire and he gets a fiery body. Just like here on this planet, on earth, we have got this earthly body. It may be very beautiful, but it is the earth, simply by nature's manipulation. Just like when Krishna says that after giving up this body, but this body is plastic body, just like you have got cotton shirt or plastic shirt or so many, so you can give it up. That doesn't mean that you die. That's also explained in Bhagavad Gita, Vashamsi jirnani yatha vihaya, as one gives up old garment for a new one. Similarly, death means to give up this plastic body or whatever, to take another plastic body or whatever. This is death. And again, under that plastic body, you have to work. So if you get a nice body, then you can work nicely. If you get a dog's body, then you act like dog. According to body, you act. So, tyaktva deham. Krishna says, anyone who understands me in truth, so how you will understand? Simply if you hear about Krishna, then you will understand. So hearing is not very difficult job. You must hear from the realized soul. Satham prasangan mama virya samvidha. If you hear from a professional man, that will not affect you. Hearing must be from sadhu, from devotee, from the lips of the devotee. Just like Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Maharaja Parikshit. Or even if you hear yourself, you read books, you will save your life. If you simply read Krishna book or Bhagavad Gita or teachings of Lord Chaitanya, then you know, as long as you are reading, the sun is unable to take your life. It's not possible for the sun to take your life. So if you constantly read, then where is the opportunity of suns taking your life? That means you are becoming immortal. So people are very much anxious to become immortal. Nobody wants to die. Everyone knows that I shall die. But if there is immediately some danger, fire, immediately you go away from this room. Why? I don't wish to die. That's why. I don't wish to die. Although I know I must have to die, still, why I go away? I know that. Oh, let there be fire. I have to die today or tomorrow. No, let me die. No, I don't wish to die. Therefore, I go away. This is psychology. So everyone wants to live forever. That's a fact. So if you want to live forever, then you have to take to Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness movement is so important and nice. Everyone wants to live. So actually, if you want to live, you take to Krishna consciousness. Ayur harati vaipumsam udhyan astham chayan asau. The sun is rising early in the morning. As it is rising, gradually it is taking your life. That's all. That is the business of the sun. But if you want to defeat Krishna, defeat sun. Sun is very powerful. It is very difficult to fight. But you can fight with the sun. How? Simply by reading Krishna Katha. The words of Krishna. Uttama sloka varte. Just see. So this is the simple process. Don't waste your time by talking nonsense. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has advised, Atyahara prayasacha prajalpo niyamagraha. Our devotional life can be finished, means they can be baffled. Those who are in devotional life, Krishna consciousness, that is fortunate. This fortune can be ruined by 6 things. Be careful. What's that? Atyahara, eating more than necessary or collecting more than necessity. Aharam means collecting. We require to collect some money, but we should not collect more than necessity. That we should not. Because if I get more money, then immediately Maya. Why don't you spend for me? Yes. So don't collect more. What you require, you collect. Similarly, ahara means eating. Don't eat more than necessity. Actually, we have to come to the point of nil eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's not possible because we have got this body. So minimum. So atyahara prayasha. And too much unnecessary spoiling energy. We should not take great risk so that we have to work for it very seriously. We must accept something which can be easily done. Atyahara prayasha. Prajalpa. Talking nonsense. This is the nature of the living entity in conditioned state. Just like the crows. As soon as they together, ka, ka, ka. The frogs, any living entity, as soon as they will gather, they will talk all nonsense. Don't do that. We have got great assembly. We have got facility for mixing. But if you take advantage of this assembly and talk all nonsense, what is the politics? What is this? What is that? Prajalpa. So, atyahara prayasacha prajalpo niyamagraha. Niyamagraha means not accepting the rules and regulation. Another meaning of niyamagraha means simply blindly following the rules and regulation. But he does not know for what he is doing that. It is also called Gadurika Pravaha. Everyone is doing this, but he does not understand why he is doing it. There are many stories of this Gadurika Pravaha. Sometimes, that is Nemahara. So 1 is Atyahara, 2 is Prayasa, 3 is Prajalpa, 4 is Niyamagraha, and 5th is Laulyam, greediness. And the 6th is Janasanga. Janasanga means associate with ordinary men. Those who have no sense of Krishna consciousness, so-called karmis, jnanis, yogis, they don't understand Krishna. Or scientists, philosophers, we should not associate with them. Harav abhaktasya kuto mahat guna. Anyone who does not understand what is Krishna and what is Krishna's service, he may be very big man in the ordinary estimation, but we don't give him any value. Harav abhaktasya kuto mahat guna. Manorathena satidavatho bahi. Because they are mental speculators, they have no value. They have their value in their own way. But according to our line of thought, they have no value. So prajalpa. In this way, prajalpa, there is tendency of talking. You talk of Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Just like we assembled here together. And we want to talk of Krishna. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Not simply vibrate something. That is nature. A bird will also vibrate. A beast will also vibrate. But we vibrate. We have to vibrate the transcendental sound. Then we shall be saved from the plundering business of the sun. This is a secret. Always talk of Krishna and you must know that you are saving yourself. You are not dying yourself. Because talking of Krishna means you will understand about Krishna. And Krishna says, anyone who understands me rightly, then after giving up this body, he comes to me. And as soon as you go to him, back to Godhead, your life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. That's Satchidananda Vigraha. So, why should we lose this opportunity? It's most rascaldom. So, they don't take advantage of this, advantage of Krishna Katha. Therefore, Shastra says, Smarthavya satatham Vishnur. Vismartabhyo na jhatu chet. So we shall have to remember Vishnu always. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Hari Ishvaro Smartavyam Srotavyam Kirtitavyascha Smartavyam cha Nityasa. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. We have to hear about Krishna. We have to chant about Krishna. We have to memorize about Krishna. We have to worship Krishna. This is our Krishna consciousness movement. We are worshipping Krishna in the temple. We are thinking of him. We also worship him in our house. We are talking about him and we're hearing about him. So we live in this way. It doesn't require any monetary exchange or any high education. Everyone can hear about Krishna. After hearing, everyone can talk about Krishna. And while hearing and talking, he can remember about Krishna. And everyone can worship in the temple or in the house. Where is the difficulty? By prosecuting these four principles of Krishna consciousness, you can become immortal here. No austerity, no austerity, no penance, no education, no riches. Simply by following these four principles, you become immortal. Just see. So this verse is very important. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyan astam chayan asau tasyarte yat krishna kshanonita tasyarthe. One who is passing time in this way, simply with Krishna katha, chanting also. If you have no time, if you have now spare time, don't sit idly. If there is no facility for reading book or talking about Krishna, then chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this way. So any questions or comments or realization you can share with us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, श्लोक नंबर 15 में दिया है सच महाभागवताज आर कॉल्ड नित्य नित्य सिद्धाज, और फिर एक और दिया है साधना सिद्धाज। ये नित्य सिद्धाज और साधना सिद्धाज क्या है?
नित्य सिद्धा, पंद्रह श्लोक में
यस प्रभु, 15 श्लोक में दिया है।
नित्य सिद्धा वो भक्त है जो कभी भौतिक के साथ संपर्क नहीं रखते हैं। साधन सिद्धा हम लोग है जो भौतिक का संपर्क रखा भी नित्य सिद्धा के संगा लेकर के भक्ति का अभ्यास करने का प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं, वो साधन सिद्धा होता है।
और
सिद्धा दोनों है।
नित्य सिद्धा जो है वो
नित्य सिद्धा जो कि वैकुंठा में है, और जो आचार्य परंपरा वैकुंठा से निकल के आए, जैसे गुरु महाराज है और कृष्ण लोक से जो आते हैं, नित्य सिद्धा कभी वो भौतिक के साथ संपर्क नहीं रखते हैं, वो कभी गिरते नहीं, बद्ध जीव नहीं बनते। वो हमेशा कृष्ण का याद रखते हैं, अपने आप को जानते हैं कि कृष्ण का सेवक है, और कृष्ण भावना, कृष्ण की सेवा में 24 घंटा दिन और रात वो लगा रहते हैं। वो है नित्य सिद्धा।
महाराजा परीक्षित,
राधा परिचित नित्य सिद्धा है।
अच्छा,
उनका जन्म से पहले वो कृष्ण भगवान को देख चुके हैं। तो ऐसी सुविधाएं उनको मिलता है जब उनके वैष्णव परिवार के अंदर जन्म लेने से मिलता है। श्रील प्रभुपाद नित्य सिद्धा, गुरु महाराज नित्य सिद्धा है। ये सब नित्य सिद्धा इसलिए है कि उनका जो पूरा जो पीछा का भी उनका कृष्ण भावनामृत में स्थित थे वो।
अच्छा, और ये टेंडेंसी फॉर डिवोशनल सर्विस बाय एसोसिएशन एंड दे आर कॉल्ड साधना सिद्धा। ये साधना सिद्धा,
ये साधना सिद्धा ये बद्ध जीव है जो कि नित्य सिद्धा का संग मिलने से लव मात्र साधु संगा सर्व सिद्धि होया, तो उसका सिद्धि प्राप्त होता साधना सिद्धा। तो वो भी कृष्ण भावनामृत को अनुसरण करने का इच्छा बना दिया जाता है उसके अंदर। जब वो नित्य सिद्धा को दिखता है, नित्य सिद्धा से कुछ सुनता है, तो इस जो बद्ध जीव है उसको भक्ति करने का एक इच्छुक होता है, और भी कृष्ण के बारे में सुनने का इच्छुक आता है, तो वो नित्य सिद्धा का सेवा करने लगता है। तो वो है साधन सिद्धा।
हाँ प्रभु, एक और है The concrete example is our great spiritual master Sri Narad Muni. ये concrete example क्या है प्रभु?
मतलब इतनी कठोर उदाहरण, जो कि ऐसी एक उदाहरण है कि सबसे एक साधन सिद्धा, यानी कि वो जो है पिछली जन्म में वो एक शूद्राणी का पुत्र था, जो कि अगले में नारद मुनि बने, क्योंकि वो नित्य सिद्धों का संग लिया था, जो भक्ति वेदांतों का, इसलिए वो नारद मुनि बने। ऐसी एक आध्यात्मिक शरीर उन्होंने प्राप्त की कि वो बिल्कुल भिन्न है सभी से, और उनकी जो भक्ति है वो बिल्कुल ही अलग है सबसे।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
थैंक यू। So let's wind up and resume our class on Monday. Till then, ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पतित
जय
पावन प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय।
जय।
वैष्णव प्रणाम।
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
नमो नमः।
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
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 नमो
नमो
नमः।
नमः। जय श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय। निताय
जय।
प्रेमानंदे।